Hello, my loves. Tonight, drop you down here. All right, so girl is back today, and we're diving into something that literally pays the bills, which is government contracting, right? We're going to talk about 20 terms today. So I'm about to break them down for you. And this is going to be more like a cheat code type of video because we're talking about the biggest customer in the world, which is Uncle Sam himself. All right. And trust me, once you understand these terms, you'll see opportunities everywhere. All right. I have a beautiful family that's in front of me swimming in the pool, and they're so beautiful. They're all hanging out together, right? I'm poolside, but it is what it is. The content don't stop, information don't stop. I'm still going to educate and inspire, right? So um, grab your favorite snack, hit that notification bell. You know the drill, and let's turn these 20 scary terms into an easier understanding of what the government really requires. Because I know that sometimes looking at these government contracts, you're like, what do some of these words even mean? And I know that at one point I was in a position where I would see terms that I had no clue what they meant, and it would deter me from bidding on the contract just because I was so uneducated on the process of what these terms really meant, and they were scary. So tonight's live is for all of you, and the helpful process of understanding in the simplest way possible what these terms really mean. All right, so we're going to start with number one, okay? And it is competitive bidding. When I say simplest, this is how I'm going to break it down for you in my own way. All right, this means that everyone gets to fight for the contract. The government puts the job out there and lets all qualified companies duke it out. May the best win. That's your competitive bidding. All right. Now, number two is non-competitive bidding. And there's a little bit of a plot twist here because sometimes the government picks just one company without a competition. So it's like being the only kid invited to the birthday party, which is really rare, but it happens, right? So it happens and it is what it is. So number three is set aside. All right. Majority of us know what that means, but for the ones that don't, that is why I am here. All right. The government puts up a members only sign on certain contracts. Like you have to be a member to get in to this contract. All right. They reserve these jobs for specific types of businesses like small businesses, women owned, veteran owned small business, hub zone companies. They set the funds aside just for those certifications because they have to meet that percentage every single quarter, year, so on and so forth. All right. Number four, and at some point I'm going to lose track of counting here because I'm usually I lose the thought of the count. But number four is a term that you will hear in local, state, and federal often, and it is the term debarment. Debarment means the government, it's jail for your business, basically. You don't ever want to go on the suspension or debarment list. If you mess up really, really bad, they can ban you from getting contracts for years. Like, you're grounded, but your company is grounded, right? So it's a place you don't ever want to be, but it's a term that you do need to be educated on because you're going to come across contracts where you're signing documents that are asking if your company has ever been debarred or suspended. Number 5 is suspension. What this is a temporary timeout. The government is going to hit pause on your ability to get a new contract while they investigate if you did anything wrong. 2 of these terms you do not want to be a part of, but you're going to have to sign documents for our debarment and suspension. You're going to see those 2 terms often because contracting officers want to know what the situation is, and they want to know, hey, are we dealing with a company that's been debarred or been suspended in the future or previously? I am literally right next to the airport. What's the matter?
Are you on the phone?
I'm on the live. You okay?
Yeah, I was just because I was looking for you.
I'm okay.
Okay, getting in the water.
Love you.
See you later.
Number 6. I have 2. That's driving me crazy. That light in the background, I gotta fix that real quick. Okay, all right, we're locked in. Number 6 is sole source. And you're gonna see this a lot if you're operating on Gov. There's tons of sole sources. Only this company can do this. It's like having a key, the only special key to a room. No competition is needed. That is what a sole source is. And I'm trying to move a little fast through these because there is 20, right? That's a big list. So I'm trying to get the education out for you to understand that some of these words that you're seeing are not as scary as you think. It's just the fact that you don't understand them. The fact that you don't understand them is deterring you from bidding on government contracts because you have no clue what these words really mean, which is why I'm teaching them in such a simplistic way without confusing the process. Because I have been in situations where I've seen big words in government contracting or words where I have no clue what they mean, and now I don't want to bid. And I don't want that for you. All right. Number 7 is solicitation. This is the government's official we're hiring announcement. They spell out exactly what they want and how you can apply for the job. So now the solicitation is in a state where it is now active and ready to be bidded on. Oh, baby, I just had my camera all on my face, all in the camera. Number 8. All right, evaluation criteria. So what this is the government's report card system. They tell you up front exactly how they're going to grade your proposal. I showed you what a template looks like when the government goes to grade your proposal. Like knowing the test answers before you take it. Okay? You're getting graded on a majority of proposals that you are bidding on, whether it's for past performance, whether it's for technical data, whether it's for lowest price or understanding of the contract, you are being graded. That is your evaluation criteria. Number 9 is best value. All right, so not always the cheapest wins, and someone needs to tell you that. The government looks at a price and quality together as a unit. That's why you often hear me say things like, if you can provide a solution, you can win a government contract. I say those things because the cheapest doesn't always win. It's not always about the money with the federal government. You need to be able to provide a solution. If you're not a solution-based provider, you're going to struggle. All right, it's like choosing between a $5 burger and a $10 gourmet burger. Sometimes the pricier one is worth it. Okay, so we're getting through pretty quick. If there's any terms that you have been seeing that you feel like you would like me to break down, just throw them in the chat and we will go over them together. Okay. And there'll be another section on this as well. This is just volume 1. So number 10, lowest price technically acceptable. My very first contract that I won with the county was a contract that was lowest price technically acceptable, LPTA. What that means is the cheapest person wins, but only if you meet all the requirements. The specs gotta be straight on point. The specs have to be on point, and your bid has to be the lowest. It's like a clearance sale, if you will. Lowest price gets it, but the item still has to work. All right. So LTPA. This one, I want you to hear loud and clear because a lot of y'all are skipping over this and a lot of people don't know what it means, and it's extremely important. Number 11 is debriefing. Okay, and if you tune into this video and you stick with it, you watch it a couple times, you are now able to have a conversation on the government level because these are terms that are used frequently in the government contracting space. So if you're educating yourself, you will not struggle in this space. You can have a conversation at a networking event when somebody brings up LPTA or someone talks about best value. You are now educated on what that really means. All right, number 11 is debrief. And after you lose a contract, you can basically ask, what did I do wrong? If you're skipping over that, you are missing your golden egg. If you have an issue asking, what did I do wrong? That's a big problem, right? And in business, especially, because we want feedback. You want to understand what you're doing wrong. You want to collect the data. That is the best option for you. So if you're new here, subscribe. If you know someone who is struggling with government contracting, share this live with them. Bring them into the community. All right, pricing course, No Magic, Just Math is now live. And masterclass is October 13th. Extremely excited for both. Okay, so debriefing tells you why you didn't win. And you have to look at it like this too. It's literally free feedback. So many people don't tell us what we did wrong with some fear of, I don't know what the fear is. People don't want to hear that what they did wrong, and people don't want to tell other people what they did wrong. That's how you grow. And on this channel, it's all about growth. All right, number 12 is the protest period. Okay, so there's a specific time. There's like a specific window, basically, of time after they announce the winner where losers can complain. Like, miss this deadline and you can't argue about it anymore. All right, so there's a window of time after they announce the winner where losers can basically complain, right, and throw a fit in whatever you may have. Number 13 is incumbent. And a lot of you need to know who the incumbent is because this will help you with past data and past contract value. The incumbent is the company that currently has the contract, the one who is currently in possession of it. So when it's time to recompete, they have an advantage because they already know the job inside and out. And you should be asking your contracting officer, who is the incumbent on the project? You have the right to ask that. You have the right to ask, who is the incumbent? Because then you can take the incumbent's name, the contract description, and do your own research to figure out how much they were awarded that contract for. Okay, so you can ask about the incumbent. There is no issue with that. You can also ask about contract value as well. 14, recompete. When a contract is ending, everyone gets to fight for it again. All right, even the current company has to reapply. They got to go back in, readjust their numbers, and bid again. That's what a recompete is. It's like American Idol. Everyone starts from zero. 15 is option periods. Now, these are built-in extensions, and I got to tell you, people hit a 5-year contract, but what they don't realize is they've only won a year of work, and they have to earn the other 4. Your performance has to be up to par in order for you to win those other years. That's something that people aren't going to tell you. They're going to say, yeah, we won a 5-year contract. Yeah, but the other 4 years are optional. That's why you will see it say option 1, option 2, option 3. Those are optional years. If you come out here and you drop the ball on a 5-year contract, most likely when you move to option 2, year 2, you will not maintain or hold that contract any longer because you could not fulfill the first year. All right, so it's a built-in extension. The government can keep your contract going for extra years without it starting over. It's like getting an automatic renewal on your gym membership, but you must perform and show that you can handle that project. Because if you don't, there will be no option years. Okay, I'm right by the airport. I have never seen planes fly so low in my life and right over the pool. I mean, absolutely beautiful. You're in the pool chilling, you look up, and there's an airplane like this close just flying over. It's so amazing. I've made some drastic changes in my life that I will share with y'all. I'll do another part 2 to the hits that I took. I shared a part 1, but every quarter or every 6 months, I do like an update video on the hits that I took while I kept bidding. So y'all stay tuned for that. I won't drop it right now, but number 16 is ceiling. The maximum amount of money that can be spent on a contract, because everything is a budget. Think of it as a spending limit on a credit card. Once you hit it, that's it. Can't spend any more. And you can ask this as well. What is the current budget for this contract? And the contracting officer will help you, or specialist or CO. They will give you as much information as they possibly can. 17 is floor. The minimum amount the government promises to buy. It's like a guarantee that you'll get at least this much work no matter what. 18 is oral presentation. Sometimes instead of just reading your proposal, they make you present it in person. Now, I would love to have this opportunity. I've never been in this situation, but I think if I had the ability to orally present my company and the whole proposal that I put together, there is no doubt in my mind that I would win. If you give me the ability to present my government contract proposal along with the ability to let me stand up and present it, yeah, that's a win. Win-win all the way, because that's very exciting. Like, mixing those two together is really just a great experience to showcase not only who your company is, but who you are, right? That's like a huge brand deal. So it's like a job interview, but for the whole company. And I'm manifesting that, right? I hope one day I can do an oral presentation with my contract on the big screen behind me. That would be awesome. Never done it, but would love to. 19 is past performance questionnaire. Okay. If you have past performance, that's fantastic. If not, you can use the subcontractors. But you need to be clear and ask, do we need to use our subs' past performance, or can we use ours? The government calls your previous customers to ask, how did they do? Now, be careful with past performance questionnaires, because if you lie, the government's going to call. All right. The government, if you give a past performing performance client that you used to work for, make it your best client or a handful of the best clients you have ever worked with, because they're going to reach out. And you probably should call them ahead of time and say, hey, look, remember that work I did back for you in August? I have a contracting officer that's going to reach out to you. Can you update them on how your past performance, your clients that you did good work for, they should know ahead of time that the government's calling so that they don't get thrown off guard. You want them to say the best of the best about your company and what you were able to provide. So just be careful with past performance. Be honest about it. Okay, they want to know if you're reliable, and that's why they do that. Okay, correct. Excuse me. Number 20 is corrective action. When someone protests and wins, the government has to fix their mistake. So they might reevaluate proposals or even start the whole process over. It's like a do-over, basically. So you have the ability to bring up contract errors. If you see that there is some kind of issue in the contract, like let's say it says it's one term, but the year reflects two. You have the ability to bring that up. Let's say that something's not clear, the dates are wrong, the quantities are wrong, something's off, the way they're explaining it. You have the ability to bring that up and say, hey, look, and at one point in the contract, it says that the work is to end 2026, but then in another section of the contract, it says 2027. That's an error. All right. COs are human. You're not dealing with robots. We are having human to human interactions. For a contract to have a mistake is okay, and it is very possible for it to happen. They're only human. They sit behind their laptops and their desks just like us. They, you know, point it out respectfully. There's an error in the date, or there's an error in this contract. They will send out an addendum. Anytime you see an addendum, that's some kind of change, like questions being answered or something in the contract was edited. But bring it up in a respectful way, because everyone is not perfect. Okay, people are not perfect. They make mistakes. Even CEOs, bidders, small businesses, all of us. That's how we got to be as good as we are. So bring it up, but respectfully. All right, and there you have it, the secret sauce language of government contracting. Next time you go to a networking event, at least you know what these 20 terms mean. Okay, and this is just a start. This is barely touching the surface. Okay, we got to go volume 1 all the way to 30, because there's more that I would like to touch on. Non-conclusive bidding. I mean, just multiple different terms that I want to keep you educated on. So drop a heart if this just leveled up your GovCon contracting game. And if there are any other insider terms that you want to know about, or you're confused, drop them in the comments, because there's definitely a part 2, 3, 4, 5 coming to this video. All right, next week I'm breaking down the biggest mistakes people make during the bidding process that cost them millions. All right, and I want to talk to y'all. Oh wow, it's a lot darker than I thought. Oh, I'm outside. I have to pick a Bible verse before we go. I wanted to keep that short because that video could at least went for like an hour, because it was so, in depth, with especially with 20. Let's look up a Bible verse to leave you with tonight. And this week, I'm coming in pretty heavy with multiple content. So you will see me all week. Time frames will be different. Some in the afternoon, some at night. But the topics are fire. They're right on point. So y'all stay tuned for more content, because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I'm looking for a Bible verse to end the night with because I know it's something someone needs to hear, right now. There's so many good ones. It's like it's hard to pick. And you know, I always want to go to Psalms. I always end up there. Wow, this one right here is deep. This is for us. This is for my community, my audience, because we're so locked in together. And I love each one of y'all individually. It has been just, it has been a blessing to have a community, right? Because everybody has been so amazing. And now I feel like my phone is always jumping with conversations about government contracting, which I really love. Like the frequency of my cell phone has changed. People call me to discuss contracts, funding, opportunities, working together. And I truly, truly enjoy that. It has been less about negativity, less about gossip, and more about how can we combine our skills together and move forward. And that is a gem. So tonight's verse is two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. Okay? Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either one of them falls down, one can help the other up. Okay? And that is, I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'll put it in the chat. That's what I want to leave you with tonight. All right. So, whatever you're thinking that is good, think bigger. I wanted to push this out tonight because this is good information for you to know. Stay educated. You're going to a place where you're going to have to start having these conversations. Okay. If you are educated on vocabulary and what it means in the government contracting space, these conversations will not be so hard to have. You can have them in a confident way. All right, so stay tuned for volume 2, 3, 4, and 5. And whatever you are thinking that is good, think bigger.